Hi guys, how's it going? My name is Chad Baptiste.
And I'm Johnny Zhang, and you're watching Nerdy for Life TV.
Okay, so the first few questions are going to be for Chad here.
Awesome.
Number one, how did you get into writing and drawing? Was it something you always wanted to do as a kid, or is it a talent you found later on in life?
My passion for comic books started as a child, most definitely. The story actually is that I came from Trinidad and Tobago, born and raised, came up here in '97 when I was 10 years old, and my best friend from there was a great artist, extremely talented for such a young kid as well. And then my trip up here, he would always tell me like, bro, don't ever put the pencil down, you gotta keep drawing. And then it kind of came to me like, I want to beat this kid at some point in life, I just want to beat this kid. So I started drawing and drawing and drawing. The drawings soon turned into panels. Panels started turning into pages. Pages started turning into stories. Stories started turning into comic books. And from then on, it's always been comics. Something about being able to extrapolate a story fully in a set amount of pages with just a sequence of artwork has always been profound, and it spoke to me a little louder.
And what about the writing aspect of it all? Because you do the writing as well, right?
I do the writing. I mean, I love a good story. Quite honestly, I do love a good story. It's just a lot of the movies and a lot of the TV shows, cartoons and stuff that I grew up watching, and then even the superheroes, comic books and stuff that I've read. Yeah. I've seen these guys go on for years and years and years and years. This is ongoing. But then there's always, every now and again, that one shot that hits it ballpark for a character that's maybe 50 years old, and then all of a sudden there's this one little piece of story that just breaks it. You never saw that coming. And to me, that was it. That was the clincher where I was just like, I enjoy and I respect ongoing stories, but if you're able to tell something succinctly in such a short amount of space, there's the money shot.
Okay, next question. How did you come up with the concept for this comic book right here, Periphery?
Periphery started, initially, the two characters, I drew them first a couple years back. I mean, the guy himself, the robot dude, he went through a ton of changes over the years. Last year, a friend of mine approached me about doing a convention in New York, which I weren't able to go to, but I sat down, it was around Thanksgiving time, and just started thinking, and I just started drawing. And what's funny is that one of my process, which isn't really shined upon in the comic industry, is that I just start drawing with no direction. Okay. I don't know where
whatever works for you.
Whatever works, I just started drawing, and by the time page 24 showed up, I was like, I think I need to figure out where this thing needs to go if I want to make this a successful story. So that's pretty much how that got started.
How much thought goes into naming the characters and the places they're in? Is it a very long process, or is it something just like, I'm going to name him this name?
Sometimes the names can speak for a character a lot loudly than people realize, So in a given process, you would want to put a little bit of time into it. With this one, when I sat with my co-writer, Luis Ochoa, he made me try to think of a direction to where some of the names complement the characters a little better. And one of the things with the main guy, the robot dude, his design is extremely simplistic but can get extremely detailed. So a lot of things just bounce off each other story-wise. So I figured, why not name him that same way? So I gave him an extremely generic name. His name is William. Okay. It's just straight. His name is Bill. He's just as straightforward a character as it can get, but the intricacies come in when the story develops, obviously, who he is as a character and how he sits alongside Amanda, the main girl.
Awesome. So all you Bills out there, don't worry, you're intricate people.
You're all deep.
Okay, do you ever get writer's block when you try to write, and how do you remedy it when that happens?
I get help.
Awesome, okay.
I get writer's block quite a bit, all the time, because you tend to write yourself into a corner a lot. With me, especially with the method of just drawing and then figuring out the story later, you have these cool ideas for images in your head. Once the images are out there, and then it's like, where are you going to go from here? So I definitely get help. Okay. Always ask for a second opinion.
All right, awesome. Who is your favorite superhero?
Batman.
Batman. Okay, we're getting a lot of Batmans today. If you had a spirit animal, what would it be and why?
That is a good question. Probably an owl.
Why would you say that?
Because they are freaky.
Okay.
I
thought you were going to say the ability to look behind my back, you know?
I mean, I think they're docile birds. I don't know anything about owls, but I mean, you look at an owl just perched there, and his face is just like, bam, you know. You just leave that dude alone.
Prepare yourself. That question's coming for you, too.
But it's kind of one of those things like, yeah, you go talk to me. Yeah, he's probably cool.
What advice would you give someone who's thinking of doing kind of the same thing and creating their own comic book? Like, you know, someone who thinks they can't do it or is having a hard time with accomplishing it. What advice or inspirational words would you give them?
What I can say, and a lot of this information that I'm going to tell you now comes from my experience today, this minute. Do it. Quite honestly, trying to create something from scratch is hard, especially without help. It's extremely arduous, and it takes too long. I've been told this a million times, and you're going to be told this a million times. But you have to do it. Have a finished product in your hand first, then make your decisions from there. Quite honestly, that's the best advice I can give anyone. Because it's one thing to say you started, you get a couple pages in, and you're like, I'm not feeling it anymore. If you're serious enough about it, just do it. And I mean finish it. If no one can help you, finish it. Like, take it upon yourself. It's not going to look the best and may not even be the greatest. Finish it, decide afterwards.
Awesome. Those are great words. Where can people go to get a copy of this book besides here at the convention? Are you selling it online? What's your website? You know, anything like that? Facebook page? Whatever you want to give them?
Most certainly. Right now, the book is not available online just yet, but it's coming. I'm trying to get an online store hooked up. It's available at Tate's Comics up in Fort Lauderdale and Zaldiva's Comics as well. Both Ryan and Tate, they're extremely awesome. I was about to say badass. Extremely badass individuals. They were both extremely helpful and kind and courageous to me. And the website is peripherycomic.com. You just go there. It's updated frequently. And then I have a fan page, Baptiste Art. I guess on Facebook, you know, or you just look up my name, Chad Baptiste, and you can find everything from there.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you.
All right. I'm assuming photography is first for you, but I don't know. But that's what I'm assuming because you've directed or something like that before. Like, what is it exactly? You tell me what you do. Since I'm not
I mean, honestly, the way I can explain it is I just have a lot of hobbies.
Okay.
I started off with photography, and then it went from photography into video, into short films, you know. And now what I mostly do is it's just an editor, an animator, and photography. It's more of a hobby for me. I mean, I've done commercial photography, but I think it's more artistic than anything. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you enjoy about the editing process that sucked you into doing that?
Mostly storytelling and art and just imagery.
Yeah.
Imagery was what I'm all about, and cinematography. And I think as far as editing, it's shooting a video, shooting a film. It's just half of the process, you know. And then it really becomes what you want to become during the editing phase.
Besides editing and photography, is there any other things you like to do as a hobby that people may not know about?
I just got into, I suppose this is in the middle of editing as well as photography. I just got into cinemagraphs.
Okay.
Cinemagraphs, it's I guess how I can explain it is a GIF of an image that has an isolated area that's moving.
Okay.
So when you're looking at it, it looks like a picture, but it moves.
Okay.
So that's something that I've been getting into.
I saw something like that I saw a picture of like a girl by a tree, I think, and it was like.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
yeah, awesome. Okay, how did you two meet? I didn't ask him, I'm asking you. How did you guys meet?
We met in college. We met at the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, and we first met, but we weren't as close. But we got really close during the project. We made a short film together, well, along with like 5-6 other friends, and that's when we started writing the process and then doing the pre-production, the production, and post-production. We started getting to know one another, and it just all went from there.
Okay. Now for you, who is your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero, I'm not that into superheroes.
Well, any fictional character.
I'd say Iron Man. Yeah, because he's billionaire, genius.
Nothing wrong with having a lot of money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
if you had a spirit animal, what would it be and why?
Spirit animal, I'm really into sloth. It's weird, right? But I'm really into sloth.
I'm not going to bring up any memes here or anything like that.
But I just think they're really incredibly interesting.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that. So what advice would you give someone trying to get into, editing and stuff like that they may think, oh, it's so hard? Because that is hard. I want you to edit this interview for me because I don't even want to do it. So what advice would you give someone like me to keep me focused on editing and staying, focused on the goal?
Right. Practice. As far as editing, you wanna observe a lot. You wanna watch all your favorite movies, your favorite directors. You watch their movies and you watch it shot by shot. You want to learn exactly how they visualize it and how they project it onto the audience, and then you practice. Okay. You shoot short film. You shoot things. You just edit. Okay. Eventually, you'll get used to you develop a style. And then, you get better and better.
So last question, man, where can people go to see any of your work, or do you have anything coming out that you want to talk about? Give them a website, the blog, whatever.
We're actually making Periphery into a web series. It's an animated comic. It's very much, I'm taking inspiration from the Watchmen animated comic, actually. And we're trying to do something very similar to it. We're trying to make it into a bi-weekly episode. It's still in the pre-production phase, but by the end of this year, it will be launching. No date yet, but it's getting there.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. This is Nerdy for Life TV.
Thank you.
All right.